Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Double Stuff Podcast, where we're double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun. And I'm Alan.
I'm Dan.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Charity.
And we are in our last season of the show. And this episode, it wouldn't be June if we wouldn't be talking about it. Let's talk about June. Did you guys know that June is National Iced Tea Month?
What?
That's a perfect,
Say not so.
perfect time to have a good cold
it's
sweet
that
tea.
month every month of the year for me.
Wait,
but
iced tea or sweet tea?
No.
Just plain. Okay, there's a difference.
No.
Okay.
No, iced tea definitely
Gotta
needs
clarify.
to be unsweetened. And not only that, it should not be assumed when you say iced tea that you'll be given a sweet tea. That is wrong. I think that it should be at least announced. If
There were such hot feelings about tea.
Proclamation.
If you say, or someone offers you, do you want iced tea? I feel that by default, it means that it's going to come unsweetened.
Interesting.
But if you just give me a sweet tea after I've ordered iced tea, I think that, well, one, I'm not going to drink it. Two, I'm going to ask if you have any unsweet iced
So
tea.
sweet tea can't be iced tea.
I guess that makes sense.
I have so many particulars. Not only can it not be sweet tea, but it has to be black tea.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. If it's coming in green tea, jasmine tea, chamomile tea,
sure.
or something flavored, no.
Green
I don't
tea's not bad,
I don't
though.
want peach. I don't want mango tea. I don't want.
You just want straight up black.
Just
like
give
a
me
coffee.
black tea. Yeah. Yeah.
I identify with straight up black.
Yeah. Which is weird because when you order black tea, obviously it's not black. You know, it's more of an amber color. But anyway, it's black tea.
Yeah.
Right? Am I
Yeah.
wrong?
I have no idea. I never even thought about tea this much.
Let's see what the author thinks. So the author says iced tea was made as early as the 1870s, but an English merchant named Richard Belchenden made it popular when he traveled to America during the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. It was summer, yet Richard was struggling to sell hot black tea. Fairgoers wanted cold drinks. Interesting, in drinking something cool, Richard decided to brew a stronger tea and pour it over ice. A new product was created, which seems like such an
that's the
obvious
drink
thing.
is
Like,
Do you want hot tea in the middle of July?
Yeah.
I know I do.
You look like a hot, sweaty mess. How about a nice boiling cup
well,
of
and
tea?
it seems like it's a product that would just happen naturally, but apparently there is a flashpoint there that can be pinpointed to the 1904 St. Louis
well, but
World's Fair.
he's also English, so I guess maybe it was always black
That's
or
true.
always hot tea all the time, and then he came over to good old U.S. of A. And it's
America.
Yeah.
We want ice in our
Like
tea.
anybody want a
not
cuppa?
only that,
No.
no.
But in 1904, I mean, you're not having a lot of refrigeration, you
No.
know, or certainly not industrial refrigeration.
Yeah, which I guess also makes sense. Like, where did he get the ice from?
Well, I'm sure
Well, they
there
had
was
the ice
like a
trucks,
snow
like
cone maker or.
Well, there's old stories of people. It's like,
Oh.
I remember, I would follow the Iceman and he would give me a little piece of ice and I would suck on that. Like, remember,
Well, that's right.
Oh,
We talked
yeah.
about
that, like,
with
movies
the
and stuff?
We talked about that with the inventions that don't exist
like the
anymore.
ice
Yeah.
carriage, like the horse would drag the ice carriage and like the kids would get the little icicles that would fall off the
Fall
drip
off
off
the
the
Yeah,
truck.
no,
Yeah.
that's true.
That was like a special treat in the summer.
Well, and if you ever go to tour the Frank Lloyd Wright House here in Wichita, Kansas,
Yes.
they have what looks to be just like a door on the outside of a window, and there's a sign. It's a dial, and it goes from 25 to 50 to 75, and what it would be to tell the Iceman how many pounds of ice that you wanted to buy, and then without missing a beat, they could open the door, load it into your ice box, and then close it, and you would never. It was almost automation.
Oh, well, that's handy.
There you go.
Learned something new today. Thank you for the history
Yeah.
lesson.
Yeah, it should have been like National Watery Extra Diluted Iced Tea, since you like 50 gallons of water per
That's
tea
true.
bag.
That's
right?
Alan's cup of tea. Right there.
Well, that's what I think of when I think of June. Dan, what do you think of when you think of June?
I certainly haven't thought that much about tea. Go to McAllister's. I'm just like, yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Puh, puh, because, puh. No, sir. This is an egregious indecency.
How do you really feel, Alan?
Alan turns into a Karen at McAllister's.
Yeah, I immediately turn into Ignatius from the Confederacy of Dunces. How dare you?
Well, let's add a little food to your tea
Okay,
there.
thank you.
June 17th is National Eat Your Vegetables Day. Who all
Okay.
likes vegetables, right?
Vegetables
Yeah,
are
some of them
good.
are.
Show of audio hands. Who all likes them? Big round
All
of
six of my
applause.
hands are up. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I'm a vegetarian and I don't like them as much. So
Really?
I'm a weirdo like that. I like some
You can
of them.
eat your vegetables as long as they don't look or taste like a vegetable. They have to be
we were
made
talking
into
about
a
this
meat form.
earlier today, and I was like, I need to find a vegetable to go with like lunch, right? To eat something that's healthy. And my wife was like, oh, why not like a dipping, like something
like
you can dip in, like
cucumbers or
or like a
something.
carrot or snap peas or something like that. And I'm like, oh, sound good. Corn, I like corn.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like on the cob or in the can.
Yeah, I'll take any corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as it's not cream corn.
Oh, it's been a while since I've had cream
Cream corn,
corn.
I feel like is a seasonal. Like it's good in the fall, but if you try to give me cream corn in like July, like get that away from me.
I've had good cream corn, but it's not my go-to for
Yeah.
sure. So a bowl of
seems
corn
odd.
with some pepper and butter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Classic.
simple, straight up. Yeah.
So vegetables can be enjoyed in a variety of ways. They contain varying proportions of vitamins A, K, and B6, dietary minerals, and carbohydrates. So veggies contain nutrients necessary for healthy hair and skin, which is probably why I don't have either.
You're not rubbing enough carrot on your
Apparently
face.
not, but I do. They lower the risk of type 2 diabetes, so that's nice, and heart
Yeah.
issues. Really, anything. It's like every time you ask yourself, what can I do to be healthier? And it's
Yeah.
like eat better.
I know
fruits
it's not
and
fair.
fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables.
It's not fair.
It's not even hard.
It's not like eat more ice cream. It's
I
great
know,
for your
right?
skin.
Yeah.
You know?
So and to go along
How
with
many
that,
Twix do I have to eat before it's bad?
I wish.
I have one.
27. That's the answer. Make it an
No.
odd number.
If we're getting really healthy too, June is also National Fresh Fruit and Vegetables Month. So not only June
Okay.
17th, Vegetable Day, the whole month
whole
you're supposed to be
month.
eating
Probably
healthy.
when all the farmers markets start popping up around
Well,
town.
That
and
makes
it's
sense.
when the melons start to get
some, yep.
sweeter.
Yeah. Oh, cantaloupe. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, it's been a while
I
since
haven't
I've had
gotten
a
it.
good cantaloupe.
I've tried 2 cantaloupes, and they're not quite ready yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stick them in the oven a little bit longer.
What?
hot cantaloupe.
Hot cantaloupe to go with that hot
That
tea.
just made my stomach flip. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So you don't like any? Are there any vegetables? that
No,
you
I like
just-
some. I mean, I just
like-
if I'm thinking about like, hey, what do I want to eat today? Vegetables is not
Yeah,
at
it's
the
not
top, of the list.
list.
Nowhere near it.
I think I've become more open to. I used to like cucumber a lot. I've started to eat pickles a little bit more. So
Oh, pickles are good. I like pickles.
Yeah, Charity sort of kind of doesn't.
I
but then-
like whole pickles. Once you start slicing them up in junk, like they taste different to me. I want a
'em.
full. Oh,
I never,
Fried pickles are
okay.
great.
Fried pickles are good if it's covered in breading and butter and deliciousness. I'll eat it. Yeah.
the way the Lord intended, nice and healthy. Okay, so I got one. June 9th, National Donald Duck Day.
Is that where you walk around without pants on?
It is with a beak
No
and a.
way.
That's every day for you.
Are you
Dan.
serious?
Don't tell anybody.
It's however you want to celebrate Donald Duck Day. And you have to talk as
Pretend
if
to be a sailor.
yeah, and you have to talk as if no one knows what you're saying. That weird quack. So Donald Duck made his first screen debut June 9th, 1934. The Wise Little Hen. It's okay. The Wise Little Hen, and this is a cartoon that me and Charity grew up watching a lot, and because Donald Duck actually looked like a real duck on that one,
Yeah.
you know, versus the anthropomorphic that he kind of evolved into. Yeah, usually wearing a sailor suit and a cap, black or white bow tie. He's most famous for his semi-intelligible speech, along with his mischievous and irritable personality.
Yeah.
He's actually appeared in more films than any other Disney character, which I didn't realize. So
Wait
he's
a
actually
minute.
apparently he's been on there more than even Mickey, if that's the case.
Well, so you're counting in like DuckTales and
I'm assuming it's all of them, like all the cartoons from
all the Merry Melodies.
I'm assuming it involves all of them. I guess if you do add them all up together, he's probably been on there. I guess more than the namesake almost.
Interesting.
He's also in more video games.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
So that if they do include that, okay.
I'm pretty certain. I mean, he's a main character in a couple video games, so.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's oddly ironic because I seldom see Mickey in anything, but you do see a lot
Mickey's
of
too
the other
good for
characters.
that.
Mickey's
Yeah.
sort of like
Donald's still trying to work and earn that paycheck. Mickey's already a billionaire.
Mickey's sort of like Mario, where like you can't dilute the brand, you know, so like, you don't want to let too many people get their hands on them.
Yeah.
But they're like, give them a Goofy or a Donald.
Yeah.
Or Donald. I guess that makes sense. He kind of reminds me of Daffy Duck on another side, like the Warner Brothers version, because Daffy was like this mischievous character, especially when he teamed up with Porky Pig. But then when he teamed up with Bugs, then you had that like clash,
Right.
and then he became this like bitter, competitive side, which I feel like Donald always has been, but it just skyrocketed as the years have gone on.
Who came first then, Donald Duck or Daffy?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I would think, my guess is that Disney came before Warner Brothers. I would have to do some research on that. I should have looked that up before I did that.
I was just curious because it seems like a Marvel DC thing where like they have the same type of characters across each one.
Yeah.
My-
One
Legally
comes up-
distinct.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
comes up
I
with
would
one, the other
think-
one comes up with the other.
I mean, considering that Disney just celebrated 100 years, I don't know if Warner Brothers had a character in 1923.
According to Google, so Mickey Mouse debuted in Steamboat Willie 1928. Donald Duck showed up in 1934. Daffy Duck made his first appearance in 1937. So Donald got him by a few years.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, I figured, I knew Disney came before Warner Brothers, so that does make sense. So there you have it. So
There you go.
And
Thanks, Google.
and so Donald Duck, he was in 2002. Donald Duck was declared one of the 50 greatest cartoon characters of all time.
Interesting.
Really?
So
He's done a lot for America.
he has.
He is wearing red, white, and blue.
We thank him for his service.
We salute you, sir.
Military duck.
Nothing says God bless America than part duck.
He was a sailor.
And apparently he's also part goose. He's a hybrid. Or not hybrid, like a mixture.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's part duck and part goose.
What?
Yeah.
Duck, duck, goose.
Literally.
Interesting.
So that's mine. So
Okay,
happy
what do you got, Cherry?
happy almost 90th, is it 90? 90th birthday to
Happy
Donald Duck.
birthday, Donald Duck.
Oh gosh. Okay. We did it again. All right. So June 14th is National Pop Goes the Weasel Day. So we probably all sang this song at some point when we were kids. Celebrating the nursery rhyme that children have been singing for over 300 years. It started off in the 1700s. In the version that Sarah sent me, the words are a little bit different. So a penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel. I think when we learned it was a nickel.
A nickel for a spool.
Yeah,
of thread,
so a little
penny
bit
for a
different.
needle.
But
There's so many different versions. Of
in
that
this
song.
version, the weasel is interpreted as being a shuttle or a bobbin used by silk weavers and being pawned in a similar way, possibly as suits or jackets owned by the Cockneys.
That's interesting
So
because
it's just a sewing thing.
Yeah.
I only ever heard it, and I didn't know it was a song. The only time I ever heard "Pop Goes the Weasel" was like
The Jack in the Box.
No, well, I guess that,
Yeah.
but we didn't really have Jack in the Box. But if you ever like blew up an anthill or something with firecrackers or something, you go "Pop Goes the Weasel."
Wait, what?
Blow stuff
Is
up.
this a thing?
It was in my childhood. The only time I ever heard "Pop Goes the Weasel," something died. It could be several something.
I like how you completely dismissed a common children's toy, a Jack in the Box, but no, if you're blowing up something.
Oh, that was way more important.
That's why he was in cahoots with Donald Duck. That's why he was taking him for his service. All that ant artillery that was going on.
Okay, yeah, that's a new one for me. I've
No,
never heard that.
I guess I'm a traditionalist. I grew up with the old Jack in the Box.
Unless that's a guy thing. Did you? No?
Well, I mean, you know, we did stuff like that, but I'd never Pop Goes the Weasel when I killed something.
Maybe it's just Alan's family. That's just how they did, they
why-
sang the song.
I'm just thinking of my friend who's a hunter, just sitting up there in that deer blind, got him setting up. Pop Goes the Weasel.
I'm always thinking that. Always. Pop Goes the Weasel.
What you gotta do? Did you actually like do the song lead up to it? A nickel for a spoon.
Oh, that's creepy. You're like whisper singing the song in minor key while the animals are walking across.
And you see it. That's the way the money goes.
Just like hear it whispering across like the forest, and just like, oh, something's gonna die.
Is someone singing "Pop Goes the Weasel" in the forest? Run!
Run.
I feel like that would make a really scary movie. Like that's the trailer.
Oh yeah,
Like a sniper or something singing a song. Like that's what he
some sort
sings
of like
before he
new
makes the kill.
jigsaw or something.
Yeah.
You start hearing the little crank of the wheel.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
You're dead.
Creepy. Yeah.
There you go.
We could totally make that movie.
I'm sure that you could.
The media
All right.
nicknames him the Weasel.
yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's
The Weasel strikes again.
Nobody steal our idea.
Yeah,
We're gonna
nobody
make
steal it.
this
This
movie.
is
Cut this out.
Double stuff original.
All right. Well, the Saturday closest to June 17th is actually World Juggling Day. Estimates suggest only about 21% of the general public can juggle. Historians believe juggling dates back to 2000 BC.
Wow.
In ancient Egypt. Juggling can also be traced
Juggling
back to
pyramids.
the Aztec Empire of Mexico and Greek and Roman cultures. During the Middle Ages, jugglers were sometimes thought to be witches. During the Renaissance period, juggling became a way to please kings and queens. And in 1793, circuses brought juggling to the United States.
Oh.
Juggle that.
No, very
I can't. I am not very good at juggling.
I've tried periodically throughout my life. Never really got
I
it.
can juggle two objects.
Yeah,
I just toss them back and
Yeah.
forth.
Juggling all the life. I can juggle life together.
Oh, okay. We're getting
This side is
philosophical.
career, and then this side is
Juggle
home
work,
life.
family balance.
Yeah. But Charity knows how to juggle.
I can juggle 3. I was never able to get
Oh.
past 3.
Now, can you only juggle balls, or is it like pins and
I never tried
hoops
pins.
and
The flaming
Things on
swords.
fire? Yeah.
things on fire? Yeah, swords.
Giving
Yeah.
me way too much credit. I've never tried anything other than round objects.
Okay.
I have wanted to try the pins. I know those are like weighted in a certain way, so I would have to learn how to kind of
Yeah, they're
toss
not
and spin them.
typical bowling
Yeah,
pins.
yeah.
They're like skinnier or something.
Yeah. So I know there's technique to
I
that.
like throwing things up, like flipping them around and catching them in like different ways. I just can never do like the
Just do it
coordination
with more
between
than
the two.
one.
It doesn't make it. I could do like 2 hands, and then it's like a third thing. I'm out.
You could teach yourself if you have balloons because those
Oh,
stay
yeah.
in the air long enough that you're not going to drop. So get 3 balloons,
interesting.
learn the muscle memory, and then you could try it with something a little bit heavier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see people do it with like handkerchiefs because those kind of float a little bit too. So yeah, something that's really lightweight. That way you're able
Yeah,
to
but
catch it.
the handkerchief, don't they do the catch like it's
They do- it's like a
upside down or
reversed,
something?
yeah.
Yeah,
I think you can do it both ways.
I'm sure you can. I've never been good at that either.
I
Yeah.
only taught myself because I was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had time, and I was like, let me teach myself how to juggle.
Well, it's a really-
pre-internet days.
It's got to be like pretty frustrating because you can amaze somebody for the duration of about 15 seconds, and they're like, "I get it," and then they're moving on to the next booth.
Well,
you know,
that's probably why they've always had to up the ante because after a
Yeah.
while it's like when you've seen one
stick
juggler.
around in 2 more minutes, or they do the audience interaction where they throw it out and then they throw it back and they can catch it. That's pretty cool.
Have you seen
Yeah.
people do it blindfolded? Stuff like that impresses me.
I don't believe they're blindfolded though.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a little peephole there
course.
Sheer.
Yeah,
You can
on a
see through it.
unicycle. Give me a break.
on a high wire.
You on a highway?
Now we're raising the stakes. Upside down.
Upside
defying
down.
gravity.
With puppies?
I'd watch puppy juggling for more than 15 seconds.
Aw.
All right. Well, what else is going on in June, Dan?
So this is actually kind of a newer one. The first week of June is the first full week of June is National Flag Football Week. Anybody played flag football?
It's actually I can't believe. Yes, I have, and it's in my mind it's kind of dumb, but
Yeah.
but it's got a
What is
resurgence.
dumb about it compared to regular football?
The stakes aren't as high,
Right.
maybe. I guess. Like,
There's no pain. Is that basically
Yeah.
what it is?
Yeah, I
because
mean-
everything else is exactly the same, right?
well,
Throw, catch,
yeah.
I feel like
wait, 30 seconds to a minute for a commercial break. Throw, catch.
I feel like you can make it just as cutthroat as regular football, though.
I think it has a place. I'll tell you where I thought that it had a place, like in college when we would do like intramural sports and things like that. We would do if it was going to be like co-ed with like boys and girls, it makes a whole lot more sense,
Right.
or something like that. But when it's just I don't know. But it's very expensive and dangerous to play real football. So
That's true.
I guess.
Well, this list is
I'll
a celebration, or like flag football itself celebrates a game that encourages adults to stay active and offers alternatives to traditional style of tackle football.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, maybe like,
That's true. I used to be in a turkey bowl league, and on Thanksgiving we would go play tackle football as adults, but I was much younger. But I mean, still, it was like, I don't know if we should be doing this.
no, I wouldn't play
Does
tackle
everyone
football
have
now.
health insurance before we begin?
Exactly.
Well,
And
because-
the answer was no.
No.
I broke my
And not only that, but I'm sure the insurance would say, so tell me again what you were doing.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I broke my collarbone playing tackle football, just
Yeah.
goofing around, not like, for sports or anything
That's
like
right. You like hurt yourself with every kind
Everything.
of sport.
that. Every single one.
Like,
Oh, we talked about this in
We
our
did.
first season. So we've come full circle now. Yeah.
I bet you hurt yourself in a billiard accident hitting the 8-ball just hit you in the forehead.
Well, I think we got time for one more. Who's got the better one between the Harmons?
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So June 25th is Global Beatles Day. So if you're a Beatles fan, this day is for you.
Yeah.
I like Beatles.
So Faith Cohen, a huge fan, created this holiday in 2009, so fairly recent. She calls it a thank you love letter to the Beatles. So on June 25th, 1967, the Beatles performed their song "All You Need Is Love" on a BBC-produced program called Our World. So
Historical significance.
also, just a slight plug
Okay.
for the Wichita Art Museum. So the summer exhibition is Annie Leibovitz's work. So if you're a big fan
Really?
of her photography,
Yeah.
she took the picture of John and Yoko.
Yoko.
She took everybody's photograph.
Yeah, but since we're talking about the Beatles,
Okay.
that picture was taken a few hours before his death, and that
Okay.
picture is currently on view at the art museum. So go see it.
An
Interesting.
endorsement.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Slight little
fantastic.
commercial.
All right. Well, and if we forgot what Charity said and you need to backtrack, Sarah, can you tell everybody and remind them where they can get what Charity just said? Is that a weird...
As in,
We
like,
know what you meant, Alan.
Okay.
so,
Sarah,
Where
tell them where they can find
can they
more
find us?
episodes of Double Stuff Podcast.
now the question has been reworded. Now that makes sense to me. Yeah, guys, you can check us out. We have over 200 episodes at doublestuffpod.com. That's our website. Of course, it's on YouTube as well. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast. And of course, as usual, out on Twitter X at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.
Oh, on a side note too, although this is the last season, the episodes will still be available. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
people, if they've enjoyed listening to us over the past 4 years, they can go back and listen to them all over again.
Absolutely.